Here's something nobody tells poor people. Being poor is expensive. That sounds like a cruel joke, but it's one of the most mathematically provable facts in all of personal finance. And by the end of this video, you're going to see exactly why, in dollars and cents, having less money costs more money. This is the hidden tax that nobody votes for, nobody approves, and almost nobody escapes. Economists have a term for this. They call it the poverty premium. The idea that low-income households pay more per unit for almost everything that higher-income households pay less for. Let me give you the first example. Insurance. Car insurance specifically. If you have good credit, a stable address, and can pay your premium annually, you pay one rate. If you have poor credit, you've moved 3 times in 2 years, and you can only afford to pay monthly, you pay up to 47% more for the exact same coverage. Same product. Same risk level. Nearly 50% more expensive, simply because you have less money. Banking. If you can't maintain a minimum balance, and millions of people can't, you pay monthly maintenance fees. Overdraft fees. ATM fees. Check cashing fees. In the UK, analysis found that people in poverty paid over £1,000 extra per year simply for accessing their own money. Banks charge you for being poor, while simultaneously charging you interest on debt. You are paying for the privilege of having nothing. Food. This one shocks people. A pound of chicken bought at a discount supermarket, paid for in cash, by someone who can buy in bulk, costs a fraction of what a convenience store single-serving product costs. But here's the thing. If you have no car, you can't get to the discount supermarket. If you have no storage, you can't buy in bulk. If you work 2 jobs, you have no time to cook from scratch. So you end up buying more expensive, less nutritious food, not by choice but by circumstance. And the cruelest irony? The healthy food, the fresh vegetables, the whole grains, is more expensive per calorie than the processed food. Which is why food deserts exist. Which is why obesity is a poverty problem as much as it's a lifestyle problem. Transport. If you can afford a reliable car, you can shop at cheaper stores, commute to better-paying jobs, and never pay cab fares or miss work because of public transport delays. If you can't afford a reliable car, you rely on public transport, which in most cities is slow and expensive. You borrow money for taxis in emergencies. You lose jobs because you can't get there on time. The less you have, the more every breakdown costs you. Energy. Wealthier households can buy energy-efficient appliances, install solar panels, get better deals on 12-month fixed tariffs, lower their bills through upfront investment. Poorer households use older, less efficient appliances they inherited or bought cheaply. They pay higher per-unit energy rates. They live in poorly insulated homes because they're renting, not owning. In the UK, the Citizens Advice Bureau found that vulnerable customers were paying up to £260 more per year just for their energy. Not because they used more, but because they had fewer payment options. Now let's talk about the biggest hidden tax of all. Credit. In the modern economy, your credit score is essentially a second income, or a second tax, depending on which side of the line you stand. A person with excellent credit borrows money at 4%. A person with poor credit or no credit borrows at 20, 30, even 40%. Payday lenders can legally charge rates equivalent to over 300% annualized interest. 300%. On a $400 loan, the kind taken when the car breaks down and there's no emergency fund. A payday lender might charge $80 in fees for 2 weeks. That's $1,040 in annual interest if you needed it for a year. And who takes payday loans? The people who can least afford them. But here's the thing, this isn't weakness. This isn't poor financial literacy. This is a rational response to having no other options. When your car breaks down and you lose your job if you don't get to work tomorrow. A $400 payday loan at any interest rate is the right decision. The problem isn't the decision. The problem is that this is the only option available. But there's a hidden tax that doesn't show up in any spreadsheet. Time. Poverty is extraordinarily time-consuming. Dealing with debt collectors, waiting in lines for government assistance, navigating public transport, working 2 jobs, managing the constant mental overhead of financial scarcity. That time, which could be spent building a skill, building a business, investing in education, is consumed entirely by the daily logistics of being poor. Harvard economist Sendhil Mullainathan calls it scarcity mindset. When you don't have enough, whether it's money, time, or food, your brain becomes consumed by that lack. Tunnels. It focuses exclusively on the immediate problem and loses the cognitive bandwidth to plan for the future. It's not that poor people don't care about the future. It's that poverty literally makes it neurologically harder to think about the future. This is why bootstrapping culture is a myth. You cannot simply hustle your way out if the hustle is just keeping you alive. So, if the system is designed to extract more from the people who have less, what do you do about it? Step 1. Attack the most expensive debt first. If you have a payday loan or a high-interest credit card, these are your priority. Not your student loans. Not your mortgage. The 20 or 30% interest debt first. Every dollar you pay off a 30% interest loan is a guaranteed 30% return. You won't find that in any investment. Step 2. Build a buffer, any buffer. Even a $500 emergency fund changes your relationship with money completely. Because the moment you have a buffer, you stop needing the payday loan. You stop paying the overdraft fee. You stop buying the expensive convenience food because you ran out of time and money. $500 is not a small goal. I know that. But it is the most important financial goal for anyone in survival mode. Step 3. Build credit deliberately. A secured credit card, used for one purchase per month and paid off in full, will rebuild or establish credit in 6 to 12 months. That credit score is worth thousands of dollars per year in lower insurance rates, lower loan rates, and better rental options. The hidden tax of poverty is real. It's documented. It's systemic. And it compounds just like interest. But here's what I need you to hear. Knowing about it is the first step to escaping it. When you understand why being poor is expensive, you stop blaming yourself for being poor. And when you stop spending energy on blame, you have more energy to spend on the exit. The exit isn't fast. I won't lie to you. It's month by month. Decision by decision. No to this. Yes to that. Build the buffer. Pay the debt. Build the credit. Build the asset. One level at a time. If this video made you see your financial situation differently, share it with someone who's been blaming themselves. Because they're not failing the system. The system is failing them. There's a difference.